Hey everyone, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to take you through the real reason your cold email isn't working. And you see at the bottom there, hint, it's probably not your copy. So the frustrating truth to do with email is you've probably written some decent emails, you've got absolutely zero replies coming back the other way, and chances are because of that you then started changing the copy, tweaking things, doing A/B tests, Googling it, using AI, all these different things, and because of that you actually are more unsure than you were before you actually started. Then you might have looked at things like your leads, so you've built a good leads list, you've maybe spent money on a verification tool to make sure you've got a low bounce rate and all these kind of things, but again, still no spike in performance. And then you've probably got to the final point at the bottom there, which is you start to blame yourself. You think it doesn't work for me, it doesn't work for my business, I'm going to give up on it, I'm going to focus on referrals, content, whatever it might be, and then you've kind of discarded cold email and cast it aside. And the truth here, which you'll see at the bottom, is most people fix the wrong thing. So the numbers here, so they don't lie. So the average inbox placement rate, and what that means is the amount of your emails that actually land in people's inboxes is 21%. So 21% of your emails that you send, so if you send 100 emails, only 21 of those are actually landing in front of the people you're trying to sell to. 40% of cold emails go straight to spam, which again is a pretty significant number. And then basically you get 3 times more replies when your deliverability is fixed. So the majority of cold email failures here, a deliverability problem, not a copy problem. I know as well from previous experience, when you're sending emails out, chances are you then start to doubt your offer, no one wants it, you try to pivot, you might even have looked to change your business, when all it comes down to is that your sending infrastructure at the start wasn't correct. So as you can see, your emails are being written, but they're not being read. So what is deliverability? So simply put, it's when your emails actually lands in someone's inbox or gets filtered into spam before they ever see it. So there's a common misconception that deliverability means that my email actually sent. Your email being sent and it landing in the inbox are two different things. So you could have a brilliant subject line, great content, you might have the best offer in the world or a great guarantee or anything like that, but if no one sees it, no one's going to buy from you. So what affects it? Your sending domain and how it's configured, whether your domain has been warmed up properly, your DNS settings, so SPF, DKIM, DMARC, your bounce rate and how it affects your domain reputation. So typically you want to be looking at below a 4% bounce rate just to ensure maximum deliverability. Having things like links, images, attachments in your email, then also sending volume and frequency of your campaigns. So for example, if you had one email address and you were sending 100 emails from it per day, just because of the amount of volume you're sending, Google and Microsoft will look at that and be like, that's unnatural sending behavior for a normal human, now that they've integrated AI into their spam filters and that kind of stuff. So instantly you'll be marked as a mass sender, meaning that a higher chance of all your emails that you send are going to start going into the spam folder. So what's killing your deliverability here? So step one here, as I was just alluding to, using your main work email to send campaigns. So every sort of bounce, spam complaint damages your primary domain, and that's permanent damage as well. Basically, to recover from that as well, you'd have to stop sending completely, put it through another warm-up cycle, and basically just give it time to come back. But of course, when you're trying to win business, you don't really have time to be doing that. Step two is having attachments. So if, for example, you're sending brochures or profiles or anything like that across in the first email, attached to your email, straight away, the spam filters will be like, oh, attachment, probably spam, flagged as spam. And this is different, for example, if you're sending a one-to-one email to someone, but when you're sending en masse, that will light up the spam filters like a Christmas tree. So that's one thing to be wary of. Step three is a continuation of step two, so images, logos, track links. Again, just because of spammy emails that people receive and trying to sort of con people, if there's a link in there in the first email that's been sent out en masse, people again think, oh, what's that link for? Is it a phishing link? That kind of stuff. Step four is, which is critical, this is absolutely essential to good email performance, is skipping the domain warm-up period. So sending at full volume from a cold domain destroys your sender reputation from day one. Step five, never checking where your emails actually land. So for example, you could be sending out 100 emails a day, you've never run an inbox placement test, you haven't run a warm-up cycle, you're just assuming that, oh, that person's got it, they didn't reply, they're not interested. Chances are they never saw your email because you hadn't done the critical steps prior to sending to ensure that it would actually get in front of them. So how to fix it? Step one is to set up a separate sending domain. So never use your main domain for cold outreach, purely use that for one-to-one communication. Reason being is that once that gets blocked or blacklisted, chances are you can lose things like your website, and also that's your primary sort of way for your customers to contact you. So if they're now emailing to that email address which is shut down, they're going to be like, why is this person no longer responding to me? I want my money back. Step 2 is configure your DNS records correctly. A lot of times, if you get it through a good domain host, they'll take care of this piece for you, just to save you a job. So I would look at, essentially buying them from good sites. If you check out in the community as well, we also recommend some providers that we also use and we recommend for our clients. So worth jumping in there too. Step 3, like I said, warming up your domain. So typically you want to start this on a 14-day warm-up cycle. You can then start sending at low volume, and then once we get to that 30-day mark, you can slowly start to ramp it up. But typically it's best to have more mailboxes and send basically as little volume as possible per mailbox. Step 4 is to send plain text only, so don't include links, attachments, GIFs. We've seen all manner of people having like photos and stuff in their email signatures, thinking it's good for company branding. But again, it's not particularly useful if no one's actually seeing your email. Step 5 is run inbox placements tests. So if you have a good sending tool, again, we recommend a couple in our community. Check that out. You can run inbox placements tests, and that will send to a variety of different servers, including Google, Microsoft, SMTP. So with that as well, you can see exactly where your emails will be landing. And then 6, monitoring bounce rates and reply rates. So bounce rate, what that means is that email is no longer valid or it couldn't deliver to the inbox. If this creeps above 4%, this will then start to send a message to Google and Microsoft that, again, you're sort of blasting out emails to people because, again, it isn't typical sort of sending behavior. So keep on top of that. If your campaigns start to bounce quite significantly, turn off the campaign, re-verify the list. Again, we have some recommendations of verification tools we can show you as well. And then clean your list and then start resending. So the same copy and the same list and different infrastructure can actually give you completely different results. So before, might be a case if you had very good copy, you had the right people on the list, you had campaigns running, but your emails are all going to spam, you're getting 0 replies, and your domain reputation is now completely damaged, or even worse case, blocked. Where afterwards, from fixing your infrastructure, you could have the same copy, the same list, deliverability fixed, emails landing in the inboxes, replies coming in, and also start to build pipelines. So one of our clients that we've worked with basically over the last week, he launched his new campaigns after we'd taken him through the warm-up period and installed the correct infrastructure. He went from sending, I think, a couple thousand emails a day and getting maybe 1 reply to sending 1,000 emails a day. And in his first 72 hours, he got 16 positive replies from 16 clients he's been trying to contact for a while. And all we did really was he had good copy, had good leads list, just had really bad deliverability, fixed that piece for him, and now he's absolutely flying, and he's close to closing $25,000 worth of new business from those clients, with more in the pipeline to come. And if you want to get this fixed and you want to learn exactly what deliverability is, how you can fix it for your business, and how you can also have an automated tool to keep sending emails in the background so you can kind of put this out of your mind, focus on other areas of your business while you have a stream of replies coming in, check out the Automated Outbound School community. The link's here at the bottom. In there, we'll teach you things about deliverability, copy frameworks, how to build good leads lists, a step-by-step system, and also just support through other people that are also using outreach to grow their business.